In the age of exponential technologies like AI, robotics, etc., how do you build resiliency into your career? This is a critical issue for your own personal and financial well-being, because all of us only have a working life of a certain length. And one of the most damaging things that can happen to your ability to save for the day when you won't be working any longer, or at least not the standard 9-to-5 job, is saving money for retirement. And repeated unemployment destroys that. So resilience, it turns out, is really, really important. 3 major things constitute resilience when it comes to your career. Now, obviously, in total, there's a ton, but there's 3 big ones. The first is mindset. So why is mindset number 1? Because mindset impacts everything else. The right mindset will support resilience. The wrong mindset will destroy resilience. So what characteristics do you need to have in your mindset to promote resilience? Optimism, number 1. There's many of us who are born as pessimistic, or it's the way we're raised or whatever it is. But in the world at large, roughly half optimists, half pessimists. So for those of you who are naturally optimistic, God bless you. You have a leg up. For those who aren't, your pessimism can be important in helping you get an accurate view of the world, but it is not helpful in terms of mindset. So why must you be optimistic when it comes to your career? The people who project optimism, by and large, get laid off later, get promoted sooner, make more money. And there is a direct correlation to these things, well studied at this point, that what I'm saying is objectively true. And optimism can be learned. There is an excellent book, one of the best ever written, called Learned Optimism, that can help you with this. It helped me back when I was much more pessimistic than I am now. So check that book out, Learned Optimism, if you need help in that area. In addition to optimism, you need a belief in yourself and your capabilities. Now, for a lot of us, this was not given to us during our upbringing. So you have to learn this for yourself if you did not get it at home. Those who did get it at home, again, are fortunate. Those who didn't, this one you got to figure out. What can help? What can help you believe more in yourself? Well, there's a bunch of programs that you can get. There's a lot of courses you can get. There's even religion and spirituality. And this is completely individualistic. So you got to figure out what works for you. No one else can tell you what this is. You got to spend the time and effort to figure this out for yourself. So this is the mindset you need, particularly with what is about to happen to work. See my very last video, optimism and belief in yourself. So that's mindset, and that's the first big one. The second big one is willingness to learn. Now, the stuff that you need to learn to build resilience into your career isn't just anything. It's typically not fiction, and it's definitely not watching TV. There are things on YouTube that you can learn from, but they've done numerous studies that show that the biggest predictor of career success, other than mindset, is reading. So the most successful people that you see all over the internet and in the news all read like crazy. Now, you may not be a big reader. This may not be your thing, but a very wise man to me said something that finally brought doing things that you don't really want to do home and what it means. And that man is Nick Saban, the greatest college football coach in history in football and up there with John Wooden in basketball. So these are the best of the best ever at what they've done. And I saw Nick Saban say this on College Game Day, and it hit me hard. What he said is, you will either suffer the pain of discipline or you will suffer the pain of disappointment. And when he said that, I realized that it was brilliant. Why? Because it's true. One or the other is going to happen to you. So don't read, and you will learn the pain of disappointment. Do read, and you will get the pain of discipline, but you will get the joy of a better chance of being successful in your career, particularly in the new age we're in, the AI-dominated age. So this learning mindset and mentality, which is not your general mindset, that's the first thing I was talking about, but your willingness to continually learn, your willingness to read, because it's the best way to get the stuff that matters, builds in resilience. How? Because by reading, you learn what hasn't worked, you learn what has worked, you learn how to make the distinctions that allowed people to figure out what did work when they were one of the first to do it. Reading becomes particularly important now because change is so rapid. And so what you want to do is be reading everything you can read about what is impacting your current career. So I'm going to give you an example to make this real. Let's say you're a public accountant. You have a demanding job. These are demanding jobs. They're well paid, and there's plenty of openings today. But the only way to have longer-term success in this career is to read and understand how AI is starting to be applied in your field, to understand what the tools are that are being applied, to start trying those tools to keep you at the front of the wave. That's a very practical and specific example of how having a learning mindset and being committed to reading can keep you at the front of the wave instead of the tsunami has broken over you and drowned you. So we've talked about two big things, mindset, which is optimism and believing in yourself, and this learning mentality and willingness to read to keep yourself on the cutting edge of what you do. And then the third thing is adaptability. You got to be willing to be adaptable, because what's going to happen to many, many people starting very, very soon is that one day your boss may come to you and say, look, we are eliminating the job you do. The reason we're eliminating it is because we have found a tool that works, that does your job. So now we want you to do this different thing. And being adaptable means being willing to try it. And then all of these three loop together with each other, then learning as much as you can about this new thing you were just asked to do, and believing in yourself that you can do it. So if you can truly incorporate these things into your life, whatever happens externally in the world, you will most likely succeed. Now, there's no guarantees in life, and we have to be grown up enough to acknowledge that, but you will have prepared yourself better than most of your competition. And that's what counts, because the people who are not adaptable, the people who aren't willing to suffer the pain of discipline and learn, and the people with poor mindsets will start to fall further and further and further behind in this exponential age. So I'm sorry to have to be so blunt, but I've just laid out how you can be prepared not to be a victim of this. This is really important, and it goes to the core of why I started this channel. So I hope you liked this episode. I hope you'll think about it and consider what I just recommended that you do. So thanks so much for tuning in. If you like this episode, please like, subscribe, and share. Also, please support us on Patreon or buy me a coffee. Your financial support is really, really important to continue growing the channel so that we can help more and more and more people, which is the purpose of this channel. So thanks so much. Take care. We'll see you next time. Bye.